Hello everyone, it's Riverly from the Savvy Groomer, and welcome to this week's episode of Real Wealthy Grooming. If you're asking me whether or not I'm in my pajamas, guilty. I am right now in my pajamas, and I'm not super proud of that, but I'm really happy that I took really good care about myself last week, getting before I went to Atlanta, and then I got home about 2 hours ago from Atlanta Pet Fair, and I want to talk all about that today, guys. And the first thing I did when I got home, I didn't unpack. I literally just got in some jammies, and I just lay down for an hour. Well, what I thought was an hour, and it turned out to be a little bit longer than that. So I'm a little behind right now, but and I feel bad because some of you guys are new here, and you're like, "Hey, River, what's up?" And I know it comes off unprofessional sometimes when things don't go perfect, right? Sometimes things aren't perfect. But I should have, and this is where we learn things like this, right? What I should have done is I should have taken tonight off from my shows because I'm tired. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not. I'm doing the best I can, but long story short, when we got into the airport today, so I had my poster, and I was supposed to leave with Quincy, and we were going to leave and go to the airport for about 4:30. Okay, and then I was a little bit behind because I woke up late, and what happened was that I got all the way to the airport, and then I realized I had forgotten one of my posters from my booth. And I was like, well, do I leave it and I have them ship it? And the last time I did that, I actually had, believe it or not, I actually had to pay $100 to ship something. And the poster, I think, was worth like $150, so I didn't want to leave it. But then again, I also didn't want to have to go back, but I went back for it. So that took me about another 30, 40 minutes just to go ahead and do that. I mean, it all worked out. But, it just put me behind. And then, it wasn't a bad time, but it was a lot of flights. My flight actually went from Atlanta to Jackson, Mississippi. Then it went to Baltimore. We had a layover. And then we went to Providence. So it shouldn't have been that bad. But it just, I was in an airport or an airplane for over 12 hours. And it was just the way that the layouts worked and everything, the layovers worked. And with Atlanta, what I had been being told was to go at least 2 or 3 hours before. Some people said you should be fine with just an hour. But I'm glad I didn't believe that. Because when I was leaving for Atlanta, I had paid for priority for Southwest. And I cut in front of 75 people having priority. So, it is what it is. Hey, Brianna. Hey, Peter. Great to see you. I am just getting everything rocking and rolling right now. I'm going to pop out my chat so I can actually talk to you guys while you're live. If you guys are watching us through Facebook, hop onto YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/Savvy Groomer, and you can hop in the chat with us. I like you guys talking live with me. But like I said, I'm exhausted. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not. But we had so much fun, and I thought that would be really fun to talk about. Fair warning, I'm losing my voice. My throat is pretty scratchy. I talked to and I met so many amazing people this weekend. I made so many great connections with people in the industry. I had 3 classes. Everything was so amazing, and I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity. You guys see that box? That's my new computer. Whoop, whoop. I'm super stoked. And I'm going to Uber Eats some Chick-fil-A. I'm not even joking. I'm too tired to go out and pick me up some food. So if you see me looking down, I'm going to Uber Eats me some Chick-fil-A. I'm just tired, and I'm going to be rambling a little bit today. So don't worry about it. So if you're like, man, what's River talking about? So what I'm going to talk about today a little bit is my experience at Atlanta Pet Fair. And you guys, if you are in the chat, you can ask me absolutely any question. Even if it's not related to Atlanta Pet Fair, I want to leave today pretty impromptu. Leave it really free-flowing. I think that would be really fun to do today. Because, you know, after talking with so many people at the booth and at my classes, you know, I love the diversity of our business. I love how there are people in all seasons of life, from all walks of life, all different kinds of backgrounds. I mean, it has been so incredible. So this weekend I did 3 shows. I did Let's Plan a Business Budget, and they actually did a 2-hour class all about how to do a business budget. And then the other 2 classes I did is It Time to Hire, where we talked about, you know, should you hire? Should you outsource? What should you be doing? You know, that was a really interesting class because a lot of people always assume that they must hire somebody like a receptionist or a bather, and there's so many other options to talk about. And then the last class I taught was Where Is My Money Going? And that's one of my favorite classes. What I love about it is I have the opportunity to hopefully help somebody who really isn't sure where their money is going and figure out how to be able to get that done, right? You got to look at where your personal money is going or your business money is going. Don't mind me. My phone is beeping everywhere. It's so much fun too. So really quickly, little side note. I keep getting tagged in posts because I met so many people. It was so much fun taking pictures with people. I'm not good at taking pictures. Thank God I have Quincy there. Sorry. Because she really made sure that all of these memories were held in place. You know, it was so nice to see people I haven't seen in a year. It was amazing to go hang out in the grooming competition ring with some of the people I know. Brianna is saying, was this your first trade show? Yes, so this is the first one I did since COVID. So I actually was at Atlanta last year when they shut it down. So I had a booth last year. I did not speak, but I had a booth. And the third day, sorry, my friend is being a little needy. If you want love, just come here. I will love you. So last year, we actually got shut down on day 3. So this is right in March last year. And basically what had happened was that they kept saying, like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Oh, pardon me. And WPA said, we're going to be open as long as they let us be open. Well, the state shut us down on Sunday. They would not let them. So Sunday they came by and shut us down. I will say WPA did a great job, which is World Pet Association. They also run Super Zoo. I mean, all things considered, they ran a fantastic show. Things ran smoothly. I was really, really happy with how things were handled. I actually talked to the president of the WPA about the food situation, and even he said, like, it's not a matter of them not wanting to offer more food. They just couldn't get companies in, or there were issues with, honestly, companies getting employees because they are... I'm going to yawn this entire time because I'm tired. I didn't sleep at all on the plane, and I wish I had, but I don't sleep well on planes. I can sleep basically anywhere else, but not on planes. But anyway, so he was saying that they're just having shortages in a lot of these gigs. Like the tech guy was saying that he's a contractor, and a lot of these food people, they don't work for these companies full time. They're contracted out to work on when they have conventions. And right now that's a really part-time gig. So that made a lot of sense to me because I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, that makes total sense. But this was my first show. I think Pet Quest was the first one really that was open. I had done a bunch of virtual ones. I had done a few of those. And I actually really like the virtual conferences. But there's nothing that's going to be the same. it's never going to be the same if we are going to go ahead and like see people. Like being in a booth and being able to hug people that I miss and be able to go to dinner with people that I haven't seen in a year or longer. You know, that was, yeah, it's definitely been longer. Oh my God, yeah. And especially being in Rhode Island, like one of the girls that I've been friends with for years, but we had lost touch, is Catherine Dixon. And she was living in Rhode Island, and now, you know, obviously she doesn't. And it was just so nice to see her. And I'm like, man, I don't want to make it another year before we see each other. And just being intentional about going to more shows. And, you know, and I hate saying to you guys, like, I feel very sales pitchy when I say to you guys, you know, you really have the power. If you guys want me to be at trade shows, please let Barkley, let WPA, let all these companies know you would like the Savvy Groomer to come and speak. And if you have a topic you guys want me to speak at, ask them to... Sorry. I'm going to yawn this entire time. You know, say to them, like, hey, we want her to speak on this. That would be great. You know, it's really hard for these companies to do business classes because they just don't sell as well. My son, they gave me a business class at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. And it was small. It wasn't super big. It was under, you know, it was about 10 or 15 people. And it's so hard because, you know, I would love for them to invite me back. But when they invite me back, guys, they're going to say, should we really pay to have this person come when, unfortunately, is the ROI really there? And so you guys helping us by being able to either go to those classes or at least let them know that you want people like me there. Because a lot of things that I teach are so important. And I don't want to take away from you guys getting hands-on instruction from the competition groomers. But a lot of this stuff would be really helpful. Sorry, wrong pipe. You know, if I'm there. Brianna's saying, I've never been to a big trade show. I will one day, though. I was going to go to Super Zoo this year, but it lands on a big camping trip, which I'd rather be in the mountains. That is tough. I will be at Super Zoo this year. I will be doing a double class, a head-to-head class, which is really exciting. And I'm hoping that will help boost it up for other people. You know, that way if they come, they're going to be able to learn a lot more. So I totally understand. I really like trade shows, Brianna. I really like going and seeing people. Not that I don't love virtual. I wish we could hybrid every class. I wish we could have them all recorded, or business ones like mine. I've recorded all of mine, and anyone in my business membership is going to get access to them. You know, and they're only going to be available for a little bit. But anyone who was in my classes at Atlanta Pet Fair, they get a month free of the business membership. And the goal is, of course, to be able for those people to be allowed to rewatch those things, because it's not easy. It's not easy to always get there. I had a few people say that they were planning on going there, and then either they were just too overbooked with their shop, or someone quit. And there's been so much going on for everyone, and I don't want anyone to feel like I couldn't make it, therefore I missed out. You know, that's never my intention. I want to make sure that they're enjoying their time and they're really getting a chance to see it. But anyway, back to Atlanta Pet Fair. So when I got my booth, which was really exciting, was that we were next to this other company. And I won't lie, I'm not entirely sure of everything that they did, because they did a lot. They have these great grooming products. Quincy's going to try them out and give her honest opinion on them. And they also did consulting. And what I loved about it is, you guys know I'm all about community and not competition. And so I made it really clear to them that, like, hey, I see you prefer to work with people who want a franchise or people that want to run these larger businesses. And my favorite kind of people to work with, honestly, are people that are more so interested in solopreneurship, or maybe people that want to be able to stay a little bit smaller. Not that I can't help you if you want to grow past 10 employees, but I just think that there are compromises you have to make in your business that at this stage of the game, it's so much more important for me to focus on the people that want to get out of it. To me, in my point in my life, I am more fulfilled by somebody who is really struggling. They already own a business, or they're going to own a business, and they're more family focused, or they're more focused on growing the beginning, like little roots. And for me, that's where my heart is at this moment. And that could change. Do I have a problem growing somebody who wants more than 10 employees? No. But I get more fulfilled. It's kind of like when you have those like heart clients that you love and, it just fills you up. That's what fills me up at this moment. So I'd rather focus my business and my energy on that. And if this other person is really successful at building those franchises and building those like multi-location salons, why wouldn't I pass along that information? Brianna's saying, I love people and love being around everyone. I am shy, but I still love it. I also love virtual because of my crazy busy life. Absolutely. I really enjoy the virtual stuff. Honestly, they're just different. I feel like, I forget who I was saying this to. I was saying it was kind of like, because she was a grooming competition person, and I was like, it's kind of like, you love doing Scandinavian, and she's like, well, I don't love it. She's like, but I love the challenge of it. I said, exactly. And then you also she loves doing Germans. I said, so there's one that's like really natural for you and effortless for you, and the other one is challenging. I find trade shows very challenging for multiple reasons. One, it really forces me to be organized. It forces me to try to, talk to way more people in a less of a time. It's really crazy energy, which I really thrive off of. I really enjoy it. So that's really fun for me. But virtual is my German trim. It's just effortless. I love it. And the reason I love it is because I've done enough of it that it just comes really natural. And having you guys here live makes this so much easier for me. Makes it easier to talk to you guys and be here for you. Because I'm in my comfort zone. I'm in my bedroom. I'm at my bedroom, in my office. And then I have my computer, which I'll be adding here. Good, bad, or indifferent, rolled out of bed. And I just hop on the computer. I get to talk to you guys. I'm so grateful to live in a time when we can do this. So Coral's saying, I miss shows and conventions so much. They haven't started up back yet in Canada. Hopefully I can make time to go when they are back up during my maternity leave. So I think I only saw one Canadian groomer there for competition. I don't know if there were more or not. But, Canadians, like any other country, has to do what they have to do. I know my Aussie clients have been really struggling because they shut back down in certain, I forget, they don't call them counties. I think they call them territories. I forgot. Or regions. I forget what it is. But they're closed back down. So it's not, you've got to do what you got to do to stay safe, especially with you being pregnant, Coral, and you're going to have a newborn. We don't know what's going on with this virus. And, just when we think we've got it all figured out, something else happens. And I really apologize if my voice is getting really squeaky. For better or worse, I saved my voice all weekend. And I haven't talked much, if any, today. And I was like, man, my voice is doing great. And then as I'm talking, I'm like, So very unladylike. But, it just is what it is. So, anyway, I digress. So, like I said, so we had our booth, and Quincy, thankfully took pictures of it, because if she wasn't there, I would have forgotten to take pictures of everything. And we met lots of people. We had the show. There are a few things that I learned at this show. One was how resilient the grooming industry is. Not only did I meet so many people who were going out on their own for their new businesses, but I also met a bunch of people that were just coming into the grooming industry. And a few people during the pandemic had started to groom their own dogs. And then they were able to actually, they took an online course and they've gotten hands-on training, which I think is super important. Hands-on training is so important. And now they want to open their own business. Now, I told them, and everyone has a different opinion, I think you should definitely work for somebody for at least 6 months under the watchful eye of another groomer. That's what I did. I had an unpaid internship, which is technically illegal, but it's a whole nother conversation. And I learned a lot of things, and I had someone there to make sure that I knew what I was doing. Because you don't really want to learn on your clients. That's not really fair. I'm going to fall asleep after this. I got to hop in one of my groups and I'm going to bed. I told Quincy, I said I should have just stayed in Atlanta one more day and just caught up sleep and then during travel, had done anything. But I would have just slept literally all day and paying for a hotel room to just sleep. I told Quincy, we need to get like a baller, like RV. Although I don't know if I want to drive down. If I could get like really good internet, I would do that. But anyway, I digress. Oh, Coral said licorice root tea with honey will work wonders. I'm going to go check out Whole Foods tomorrow and see if they have that. I don't do well when I travel, guys. So when I travel, my entire state is at sea level. So I don't do well with pressure. Like, I don't like the mountains at all because it hurts my head and it makes my nose run. It just kills my sinuses. And I find that the pollen, all of the different plants and things that are in Florida, Georgia, Atlanta, Virginia, like anything south, I find it just makes my head hurt. So what I normally do is I take, some sort of allergy med and I make it work. Well, I was told by a friend of mine, as I said, I was really worried about it making me sleepy. Because I'll be honest, like most allergy meds, even the non-drowsy ones, just kind of make me a little loopy. And I won't lie, this was very tough for me to find Starbucks. I only got Starbucks 2 days. One day was because we went to the airport and I had to send Quincy back to the trade show. And it took me almost an hour just to get through the line, order our coffees, and get back to her. It was crazy. The Marriott that had Starbucks did not have what I wanted. No. They did not have what I wanted. So that was not what I wanted. So I didn't want it. So I didn't really want it. So anyway, so when I went, and they didn't have Red Bull. And Red Bull's like my secondary go-to. And I prefer the blueberry one, but I did not find any of the blueberry ones. So I was very unhappy. So I basically was in caffeine withdrawal. And I was worried about being tired. So I decided to one of my friends said, just take some Dayquil. She said, take it twice a day. Don't take NyQuil, but take Dayquil. So it's going to help all of your swollen sinuses. Because like my sinuses literally felt hot. And this happens every time I fly. All the pressure. Like I literally bring Q-tips when I fly. Because my ears get very waxy. And I just feel gross. They just feel like they're wet. And my nose will drip. So it's very sexy. Sometimes I'll literally put a tissue under my mask in the plane. Sometimes I get bloody noses in the plane. My sinuses just don't do well with the pressure change. And then when I got there, just all the pollen, it's hot. It's just totally different. Brianna's saying, when we are in Florida, I'm always swollen. It makes me feel miserable. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, when I was in Florida with my son a few months ago, I had the same problem. And when I was in Arizona with Melissa Hall, I got so sick in Arizona. It wasn't that I was sick, I should say. It's just that, like, my whole sinuses, my whole head felt like it was in a vice. I think some of that was that they're at a higher elevation, and it was so dry. And I will say that in New England, we're fairly spoiled. We do have 4 seasons, but I feel like even though we have massive changes, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I honestly, thinking about it, I'm like, how can I have so much sinus issues if where I live, we have all kinds of changes? It could be 90 today and then 50 tomorrow. I don't know. But I always get, like, I always say to myself, oh, I really want to move down south. And then when I go down there, I'm like, I am so, like, my nose hurts. The whole thing feels like someone is just sitting in here. And my eyes get puffy. I mean, it is what it is. No one's perfect. So there's nothing for me to do for that except just do my best and try to make it work. So, just is what it is. Sorry. I'm making my Chick-fil-A order. I'm like, I'm hungry. Num, 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 num. Don't mind me. I know. Terrible, right? But I need me some food because I am exhausted. So, anyway, I digress. But that's what it is. I think that there's some people that just can't handle the southern pollen and everything. And it was so interesting, too. We met a person who had their first competition. His name was Ethan. He was adorable. He was such an amazing person. And I wish I had had more time to get to know him. But I don't know if he's Quincy's friend or if Quincy got to know him. But his dog was so lovely. He had a poodle. And we were talking about how different places have different coat types. Like as far as like how the coat reacts to the humidity. And I thought that was so fascinating. Next to us, we had, obviously we had a different booth. And one of the women there, I feel like is like my soul sister. She was amazing. And she had done competition for many years. And she had said things like, the water can change, the hardness or the softness of the water, the humidity in the air can change prep or make the coat not do things. Like, I guess his dog's coat was very soft the day of, and then the next day the dog had a better coat. And it was interesting because, like, I thought I wanted to get into grooming competitions. It's not my forte. I love learning everything I can about the competition. Like, I want to know the how. I want to know the why. I just don't want to be the one to do it. But it was so fascinating to learn just from the different booths and the different vendors, different belief systems on hair and different belief systems on products and how different things affect it, the coats differently. And I just found it all fascinating and fun. And it's all, it's all very interesting. The only thing I didn't love is I think that some people, and I would not say anyone we hung out with personally acted this way, but there were a lot of people that we didn't really hang out with them, like I said, but there were people that were very catty or upset. And I think that was really unfortunate. I think it was really unfortunate that some people chose to spend the show, bringing up drama. And, they asked me my opinion on it. And I just said to them, listen, I think that, people are going to do what they're going to do. And I just want to be here for everybody. I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what's going on with anybody. And honestly, it's none of my business. Obviously, if it's me and my immediate friends, then I would have more inside. But if I'm not immediately in the situation, then I just try to stay out of it. Same thing with politics, guys, or even like the grooming situations, like with the dog with the dye, or if you guys remember the dog with the mobile, where they said that they had broken the dog's leg and the dog had actually been run over by a car, not the groomer's car, another person's car. I mean, it comes down to, you know, if I don't know, it's not that I want to just be like poo-poo, but I don't know the situation and I can't be involved. And I think that for me personally, it's not that I'm trying to ignore the situation. It's just more of me trying to respect what is going on. You know, I want to respect because I would want that respect. And I don't know who's right and who's wrong. And I don't think it's really up to me to know that. So I think that's the only way I can say that in the most vague way possible. Like, I'm here to support everyone, you know, and until anyone has been absolutely been proven that things are wrong, I'm just going to stay out of it, because I think that Savvy Groomer needs to stay neutral in this industry. I think it's way too easy for us to potentially get dragged into things. And I just want to be here for everybody. I want to focus on helping people grow their business and enjoy their lives. And I think that's the best thing that I can do for you guys, is just kind of do my very best to just stay out of things the best that I can. So I hope that doesn't sound like vague and non-committal, but that's kind of how I feel about drama. Now, I will say that I will always, you know, I like sipping tea and hearing tea. Don't misunderstand. I just try to stay out of it long term, because I just find that, you know, I don't know the situation. And if I did know the situation, I just don't want to say the wrong thing, because I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. You know, guys, like, it's so hard for me to know what is the truth and what's not the truth, right? I don't know what the truth is. So I just try to stay out of it the very best that I can. Moving forward from that, you know, it was really wonderful to see everyone and the booths. And there were, you know, there wasn't a ton of new products. There was some really fun products that were there. You know, not to name names, but Groomer Wall, I thought was a great invention. I don't know how long they've been around, but I really loved that product. And I know Handy makes something similar where they clip it to their lip system. But just to have something stand alone, like my grooming table does not have a lip system. And being, you know, I love the idea. Now, we have our grooming table up against a wall, but it would even be nice to have a cat be a little bit closer. Or, you know, if you have, you know, again, if you have small dogs, it's just nice to get them on the other side of the table. My hands are really, my hands are small. My arms are really short. And so I would really appreciate having something like that there. There's so many different products that are there that I got to see and touch and feel. Another one would be like Alpha Products. Had that mat with the magnets. I mean, how cool was that? I was like, I need that. So I'm actually going to order that for my sister and my mom, because I think that'd be awesome for their business. And I think that having 2 of those in the van could make a huge difference. You know, they don't really have a lot of issues with things falling over, but I just think that it doesn't hurt. And they literally had the clipper standing up there. But, you know, and I hate naming names because there were so many amazing products and I could sit there and name them all. And I don't want anyone to feel left out or feel like I didn't give them a heads up. And it's the same reason why I don't call, like, say who I met there, because I don't want anyone to be like, oh, she said this person, but she mentioned me. You know, I met some interesting people with interesting business ideas, and I really hope that I get to be a part of their future business endeavors, because I think that's amazing. I'm going to sit here really quick and hit order, because I want my Chick-fil-A. Boop. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Na na na, na na na. I want food, I want food. Na na na, na na na. Yeah. Oh, someone's calling me. I'm going to text them and say, hey, I'm on my live. I'm on my live. People miss me. Can you believe that? I like when people miss me. Anyway, guys, I know this was very impromptu. I know this was kind of loosey-goosey, but I just want to share a little bit about what happened in Atlanta, the good stuff, and, you know, I'm really lucky that I met some of the most amazing people I've ever met. And if you guys ever want to come to trade shows, or if you want me to come to trade shows, you can always let them know, hey, we would love to see Riverleaf speak. You know, not so much this year, but starting next year, my goal is going to be every place that we speak, we're going to get a booth. I am speaking at Super Zoo. I'll be very honest, the booth is not in this budget this year. I would love it to be, but it's just not in the budget this year. You know, that may change, but, you know, the thing is that whenever I do a booth, I have to add in another person to be at the booth, because when I'm speaking, I need someone there. You really need at least 2 people if someone goes potty, or we had an issue where we were just trying to get food, and it took me an hour one day to get chicken tenders, and they were so mediocre. And again, that's not WPA's fault. That just is what it is. I was glad Chick-fil-A was there. I do wish Chick-fil-A had been able to have not soggy chicken sandwiches. And they were expensive. They were like $8. And they were so soggy. And I was like, this is not what I want. But we did have other food elsewhere. We got to see so many classes. It was a great time, you know. And all of you guys going to All American, or going to Hershey, or the New England show, Super Zoo, I know you're going to have fun too. So if you can add that to your budget, I would start a little sinking fund so that hopefully you guys will be able to, you know, go at least one time in the near future. All right. Well, I am literally exhausted. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see me just completely, I feel like at this point I'm almost rambling because I'm just tired. You know, it's so lovely to talk with you guys. I miss you guys. You know, I'm so grateful for those of you guys that I got to see in person. And, you know, it was weird not doing a live last week, but I'm so glad I took that time for me, because I was exhausted. Like, I was trying to get everything ready, and then it all worked out. So, all right, guys. So next week, we're going to go back with a live of an actual topic. I'll be in things that are not kitty pajamas, and we'll talk then. All right, guys. As always, happy grooming. I know. I'm trying to find the outro. It's so silly, right? Happy grooming, guys.